Hey, Wayne DeFrancesco here, and as always, I want to encourage you to visit WayneDeFrancesco.com, and where you can see this video and any of the other videos that I do. So today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite guys in golf, one of the great characters in the modern game, Mac O'Grady. One of the great ball strikers of all time. You've probably heard stories about Mac, and nobody could really hit it like he could. Unfortunately, his putting gave him all sorts of headaches. So his tour career was, while he won a couple tournaments, probably should have been a lot better given how well he hit the ball. But his greatest contribution is probably with his teaching. He is definitely one of the few original thinkers in the game in an era of plagiarizers. Mac certainly came up with a lot of original stuff. Now in his swing, bunch of interesting things going on here, not the least of which is the odd setup. But once in motion, it doesn't get a whole lot better. I wouldn't choose to bend my knees this much. You can see as he would start tall and then squat right as almost a trigger motion to squat down, and then pull the right leg back as the trunk began to move. Now the club will, with the hands being extremely low, the club takes a low arc around him, and then being that low, he's forced to lift up a bit on the rest of the backswing. So that's something that I'm not a big fan of, where the head gets taller, because most people don't recover from that very well in their swing. So I would prefer to start tall and lower during the swing. However, as you can see, the position that he reaches up there is about as good as it can get. And one of the things you'll notice is how nicely connected his arms are and how nicely the shoulder turn matches the spine angle. It just looks great. Perfect wrist, club face. Now in the forward swing, because of the low setup position, when he comes down, it's almost not possible for him to return on the shaft plane. And this camera is probably a little close, but in both of these swings, I think you'll see on the approach that the right forearm will come in just fractionally high, but the shaft perfectly under control right on the forearm. And again, one of the things that I really like in a swing is the hips keeping their depth and finishing up in the box. And when you look at what happens here, you can see it. It's just pretty perfect. If we look at him from the front view, again, not great quality in these pictures, but it's still usable, so we can still take a look at it and really see where a lot of the modern swing ideas came from as far as staying centered over the ball. As you can see, there is no rightward movement there. The right leg pulls away, but it does not straighten completely. Again, it started super bent, but again at the top you can see there's definitely plenty of angle left in the knee there. A very aggressive forward thrust, which all great ball strikers have. Great footwork. And the thing I really like about this is that it's not overextended. So if you look at someone like a Ricky Fowler, who is pulling his joints apart while he swings, you can just see it. It's just a perfectly compacted use of the upper trunk. Beautiful downswing. And you can see the snapping of that left leg. perfectly balanced finish. Doesn't get a whole lot better. Again, the only thing that I would ever have quibbled with here would be Mac's setup, and I'm sure he did it for his own reasons. Now, if Mac ever watches this, or if anybody knows Mac, please see if you can get him to publish something one of these days. I know he's got tons of great stuff. I know he's been threatening to put a book out. Well, everybody wants to see it, for sure. I'd be one of them. But you can learn a lot about this swing just by watching his lower body move. Now, as an instructor, Mac really helped some guys. Chip Beck, Jody Mudd played great. The problem was nobody could stay with Mac for long enough to really make a career out of it, because Mac has such a challenging personality. It's very difficult not to eventually get on his bad side and sort of be on the Mac blacklist. So I never did take any instruction from Mac. I never went to one of his seminars, but certainly you can't be around golf instruction without have gotten a lot of second-hand knowledge from Mac O'Grady. So there he is, and if you're around, Mac, let's see a little more of you these days. All right.